Alright, this is part one of what if Deku had a transformation quirk. So let's get into the fundamentals. Izuku Midoriya, still the son of Inko Midoriya and Hisashi Midoriya. Inko has a different quirk in this one. She has an energy quirk, a weak energy quirk. And Hisashi, he has a power up quirk, like an enhancement quirk, but it's weak. So their quirks combined make Deku quirk, like a small transformation like quirk, energy based and stuff like that. So in this world, about 20% of people, no, actually more people have quirks in this one. Now Deku's power is viewed as a quirk, but it's technically not. It's technically not, but it is viewed as one because it's still a variation of a quirk, as you could say. It's an evolution. So it is harder to basically, for the quirk doctor to write down this quirk because it's harder to actually view what it is. They say that he has a quirk and all, but it's hard for them to basically calibrate what it actually is. So when Deku actually goes, when he turns forward to see what his quirk is, it took them a while to actually get down the energy part, but they don't know about the transformation or anything like that. So I'm gonna get to why I got this picture. Why I got this picture right here. I'm gonna get to that in the future, but let me get to the what if first. So Izuku Midoriya, he's born. His body looks a little bit stronger than what most babies should. He looks a little bit muscular at such a young age, which without the doctors. And he's born with black hair. Actually, no, he's born with green hair, like his mother. Completely green hair. It's not dark, it's just light green hair. Along with the light, green eyes. Now, Izuku Midoriya growing up, he was always better at he was just stronger than most kids should be. A lot stronger. He's also faster, smarter. He can jump higher. He can do a lot of things better than what kids should be doing at his age. He has the strength equivalent right now to what a grown man should have. A grown man that works out like a boxer. Which is kind of weird because he's still only a kid. Only like 2 to 3 years old. Now, Izuku started to walk before most kids could walk, with his muscles being more developed. He also basically started to talk more fluently. Basically the more he tries to, he talks more fluently. So he can talk very fluent. Japanese because it is in Japan, it's not English. From what you're just hearing me say it, I'm saying it in English, but what they're speaking in Japanese. So, if I ever say that they go to a different country, then they don't be speaking their language. It's gonna be still in me in Japanese, and basically to have something that can translate or something like that. So, now we go to when Deku's 4. Like I said, he goes to the quirk doctor. They try to see what his quirk is. It's hard for them to diagnose, though, to just say he has an energy quirk like Inko does, because Inko did explain to Deku how she uses her quirk. She basically explains that she puts it outside of her body, and it's like basically, just like she makes like a little beam in her hand, and Deku copies that, and so he makes like a little key blast. And so he actually shoots that at a target and it blows it up. And it's very powerful. Way more powerful than what Inko could do. If Inko was to use her quirk, it would only just make like a little tiny explosion. Like little poppers. The things that you throw on the ground when you're pop firecrackers for the 4th of July. Those things. That's how big it would be because her quirk is super weak. Hisashi said that he has a strength enhancement quirk, so that might be why Deku's body is just so strong and stuff like that. in which Deku, without even training or working out anything like that, his body's already naturally built. So we're gonna skip 2 years. Oh yeah, Deku did tell everyone that he has like an energy quirk to his class, and he showed it off. They say it was cool and stuff like that. He said he don't know all about his quirk, so he don't know what all he could do. So he's still figuring out everything he could do. Oh yeah, so in the ship for this one is gonna be Netherray because I just feel like it. I feel like that's the best choice. Wait, no. The ship's gonna be Melissa. Yeah, Melissa. Melissa Shield. She's younger in this one, and she's at 1A. No, not 1A. No, 3A. No, class 3A. No, same class Netherray. No, not the same class. She's in a support course for, their class, their grade. And Deku's gonna know when Deku gets to UA, she's gonna be in that class. But they're gonna meet before that. So Deku is now 6 years old. Him and Bako are friends. No, not the best friends because Deku don't like Baku's attitude, always thinking that he's better than everyone, stuff like that. He don't like that. But they talk and stuff like that. So one day, Deku and Inko are just walking, in the park, just playing around, when the villain comes up and basically stabs Inko, not killing her, no, just stabs Inko, and then he tries to run off. Deku sees this get really emotional, very, very much emotional. He thought his mom was dying. He was crying over her body. Inko passed out. Deku seen all the blood and everything, and then, suddenly his hair started to stand up. Instead of that green, color in it, it started to flash a different color. It still had that green, color, but it had around it that, orangish, reddish color. His body, it started to get more muscular. It started to glow a little bit too. Not glow, like basically color glow. Like it changed to a different color. It got like reddish, more reddish, but not too much, just a little bit, slightly. His pupil, his eye, went completely white. His hair stood completely up. Then he let out a little scream. And then he had a goldish aura around him. The villain looked back to see Deku. Basically, Deku was walking his direction. The ground beneath him, basically breaking. And then basically Deku let out a little scream and his shirt got blown off. And then he rushed the villain. He punched the villain in the face. And then he just kept wailing on the villain. Just kept on going. Punching the villain over and over and over and over again. Until when he finally stops. The villain thinks that, this kid finally stopped. Only for Deku to put his hand out in front of him and let out a huge ki blast. Basically incinerating the villain. Deku would then fall out of this transformation state and just pass out. Now police and paramedics will get there. They'll take Inko to the hospital along with Deku. Now they'll get reports from everyone else, like what happened, like what did you see happen and stuff like that. And they explain. This villain ran up, stabbed this woman after stealing her purse. This kid, after the nigga hit somebody die, he suddenly, his hair started to glow. It changed a slightly different color. He had its aura around him, and he just basically beat and basically killed the villain. Now, because Deku did kill the villain, he will be on probation. Well, not probation. He will be put into this special program that they have. That is really a messed up program, but no one knows. They think it's actually helping, but it's something that's very bad. I'm going to explain why a little bit, but let me get to the hospital scene. Now, Inko wakes up. She's wondering what happened. She's like, where's my baby? And stuff like that. And then they tell her that her son's in the next room. She goes over. She sees Deku's body. But what's weird is Deku's body is actually steaming. There's steam coming out of his body. She's wondering what's going on. They explain that he had this little weird transformation, and ever since he passed out, his body's been steaming like that. But they say that he is fine. From what they can tell, he is fine, but it's just his body is steaming. She says, okay. Now, after she leaves the Deku's hospital room, she goes back to her room because the doctor says she needs to rest, because she did just get up even though she had a stab wound. So, the next day, Iko goes to basically look for Deku, see how he's doing, but when she gets there, she sees that Deku's gone. She asks the doctors what happened, know where Deku is. They don't know. They check the security cameras because a patient basically missing, and they see it. This dude, like an agent dude, he comes in, he basically starts talking because they got microphones in here, no cameras for microphones, and they hear that he says, so this is the kid, another one, basically with a dangerous quirk that we have to watch out for. We'll go ahead and take him. As they take him, and they leave. Iko starts to break down crying. She's wondering where her kid is, where Izuku is, and stuff like that. And now we flash to Izuku. Izuku wakes up with a bunch of other kids in like these cells. Now, he got a lot of kids, ranging from kids having different quirks, like electricity quirks that are too strong, racing quirks that are too strong, and everything like that. So the intercom comes over, basically says, you all are here because your quirks are too dangerous for society, so you will be staying here for the time being until we deem you worthy of releasing you into society. Which, that's a lie. They try to use them for military purposes, but that's not going to happen. So, over the next years, they force these kids to train. They force them to train, they force them to fight each other and kill each other. But Deku, he never really wanted to kill anyone. So since he did not kill anyone, they always kill him in front of Deku, and just to make sure he does it. But he still does not kill him. He don't kill anyone. Every time he tries to basically just take him down without killing him, but everyone just tries to make him kill him. But he is not going to kill. All these times they were trying to experiment on everyone's quirks. They did a lot of experiments, basically killing some of the kids just for experimentation. They were trying to make the quirk better and stuff like that. They did a lot of bad things too. Now, Deku, while in there, he meets a couple of people. He meets this kid by the name of Toya Todoroki, who goes by the name of Dabi. Dabi explains that he has a quirk called cremation. It's a very powerful blue flame that is more powerful than any other flame that he has ever seen so far. He meets another kid by the name of Mina. Mina says that she has an acid quirk. It basically can incinerate or basically burn anything. Not burn, melt, whatever. You know what acid do? Her quirk is way stronger than what it was. He meets a kid by the name of Tokiyami, another one by the name of Denki Kaminari. He meets a lot of kids. Momoya Hirozu. And he meets this little girl by the name of Eri. So they all advise escape plan for everyone inside that basically what they call as a prison, as a hell. Now, Deku was taken when he was at the age of 6. No, this is all taken apart 4 years later. Deku was 10. Now, flyers, everything, news media has been placed all over the world, all over Japan, that kids have been going missing, kids that have strong quirks. And basically they're wondering what's happening. Now, Deku basically comes up with this plan that he's gonna basically get angry, super angry, so his transformation could come out. in which Deku still don't have control over it because it's super strong. The transformation that he has. Oh yes, now I think it's a good time to explain why I got this picture. Now, this picture right here is Goku when he went False Super Saiyan. Now, False Super Saiyan may not be canon, but I like the transformation. It may not be Super Saiyan, no, and it may not be as great as all the other Super Saiyan transformations, not like that. But it's still, in my eyes, a good transformation. And it's something that I believe that a regular human may be able to handle. Like Super Saiyan, that might be too powerful for Deku. And False Super Saiyan is a lot weaker than Super Saiyan, but it's still strong enough to at a point where Deku is untouchable by most people in this what if. And because his power is amplified by his when he goes transformation, his power is amplified by his already existing power. So if Deku had a power level of over 10,000, I want to say that Super Saiyan is Super Saiyan 10,000. I forgot what Super Saiyan is. I think it's a 50 times boost. I don't know. Well, this I'm gonna say Deku's False Super Saiyan. It's basically like a 25 times boost. So I don't got time to do the math, and I already know I'm gonna make it wrong. So let's keep going. Deku advises this escape plan, and everyone says okay. So Deku's next fight, and he says no, he's gonna do it. So in Deku's next fight, he gets super angry to the point where he goes to his transformation. His hair stands up. This green, hair transforms slowly into this reddish orange. This golden aura comes around him. His pupils, disappear. And he has control over this one, but not for long. Like, he still has to practice with this. So he goes on a rampage. He slaughters every guard that he can find, releasing all the other kids, and he slowly but surely gets the hang of it. The longer he stays in the transformation, the longer he gets a hang of it. But he's trying not to get too angry to the point where he loses control completely. So that's what he's doing. He's trying to control his rage. But he's slowly but surely getting too angry to the point where he actually loses control. And he just starts slaughtering guards left and right. And then after a while, he gains his composure again. And he sees that it's easier to control now. So he thinks that he needs to start on emotional training to basically control his quirk, because he can see that his quirk is deprived of his emotions. He gets stronger when he's angry. Basically he gets stronger when he's angry. He gets faster when he's calm. But, basically that's how it's supposed to be. Because when he's calm, he's basically, thinking. He's advising himself. He's knowing what he's doing. When he gets angry, he goes into like a primal rage. He don't worry about what he's doing. He don't worry about his body. He don't worry about anything. He just has this overwhelming strength, this overwhelming power. So Deku's still in his transformation, but the thing is different with this. This aura is no longer around his body. It's not there. His eyes are still disappeared, but his hair is no longer standing up. It's actually down. He's wondering what this is. Now, this is like False Super Saiyan. I'm gonna say this like a variation. Like, this is like Super Saiyan got all the variations, like from Goku when he first turned Super Saiyan to the second time, third time, until he stays inside Super Saiyan for a long time. He basically gets full control over Super Saiyan. This is what Deku's doing. Like, he don't have full control over False Super Saiyan, so he don't have full control over FS. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm just gonna call it False Saiyan. False Saiyan. FS. He don't have full control over it, so he's trying to get control. So with this, it's basically like a variation, like step 1, and there's 3 steps to this. in every step going to be stronger. So this one is basically the weaker of his transformation. It's more of a controlled state. So his hair is down, but it's still the same, reddish orange with the green. His pupils are still disappeared. So he just basically they escape. Later on, it's put on the news that this place got completely erased. Well, not erased. Deku still left it there. The heroes raided that place. They found a bunch of guards dead. A lot of them still alive. Scientists here and there. A lot of things. They find these places. They find these. I just got a ringing sensation in my ear, and it felt weird. They find these cells that they kept the kids in. They found this area that they made them fight. They see all this blood that's everywhere and stuff like that. They see the torture chambers, the experimentation room, everything. They see all of this. And all the rest of the people that was still here or still up, that wasn't dead, that was traumatized, they get taken to prison to basically the second most hardest prison to get out of. Now, Tartarus was where it was, but this prison was in the Pacific Ocean, underwater. It was, it could have been the best prison in the world if not for Tartarus. And the only reason that Tartarus is, basically as good as it is, and the prison that's underwater isn't, it's because one thing. They don't know about this second prison. Most people don't know about it. So they just know that the well-known prison, Tartarus, got all this, just saying that it's so great and so like that. But not many people know about this, prison inside the Pacific Ocean, which is going to name as Atlantis. So Atlantis is a very, very, hard to escape prison because even if you have a water quirk, like a quirk that has to deal with water, you won't be able to escape. Surrounded by all the predators that's inside the water, like sharks, whales, everything like that, killer whales, everything. And evolutions of animals, because MHA said in the future, animals with quirks, you wouldn't have the abilities to basically combat that. So you probably would die. So, now with Deku and the rest of the other kids, they get taken to like different hospitals and stuff like that. Hospital staff for food, they push to the maximum. All the kids that looked fine are perfectly fine. They take it to police stations. They're getting their names from them and they send it to their families. Now, Mina, who it was? I know it was Mina. No, Mina. Well, Mina, she was there. Momo, Toya, Todoroki, basically Davi, Kaminari, and who else? Yeah, Tokiyami. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, Eri. Eri was there too. So everyone finds their family. Eri doesn't, cause Eri's grandpa was dead, and Shizaki Overhaul didn't know where Eri was, and he didn't know much about Eri because Eri was taken before he was there. So he cannot monopolize the quirk erasing bullets. But he's still the leader of the Yakuza because he took over from the old man after he killed him. Well, not killed him, basically put him in a state where he's near death. And he can't move, he can't react, he can't do nothing. So everyone goes back to their, basically houses. And Iko comes, she picks Deku up, and she actually adopts Eri too, because Deku tells her to. And Iko was so happy to see Deku too, she hugged him for a long time. Iko sees that Deku's body is full of scars, it's so muscular and everything else. She asks what happened, and Deku explained. He explained everything that happened to him in the last 4 years. Basically everything that happened to his friends. So they get home. Deku bathes. He puts on some, he has to go. They can go shopping for some new clothes because he cannot fit any of his old ones. Now it's put on the news that all the kids have been returned to their families, to their homes. Now most of the kids had families. There were some exceptions that had to go to orphanages or they was adopted by the families of other kids that basically told the family that they were friends or something like that. So over when Deku is shopping and stuff like that, he splits apart from Inko and Eri, and he's just walking around the mall. Now while walking around, he missed this girl. This girl with blonde hair and green eyes. I think she has green eyes. I do not know. But he started talking to her because she seemed really interested in something. He says, "What you looking at?" And she jumps a little bit, but she says, "Oh, it's just a kid. No, just no this dude." Cause I think she's 13 right now. Wait, yeah, she's 13 because Deku was 10. Yeah. So Deku and her starts talking more and more and stuff like that. To the point where she gives Deku his number. Gives Deku his number. Deku already knows his number. She gives Deku her number, and they keep in touch. So over the 2 years span, they become more accustomed to talking to each other. Wait, I say no. She is actually 12, not 13. She's 12, I think. I think it's 12. Let me see. I'm just trying to do some math in my head. Yeah, she's 12. So Deku's 10 and she's 12. All right. So they started talking more over the 2 years span. They actually started to gain a liking to each other. Seeking crush. But they don't. Deku don't know what a crush is. He don't know nothing about that. He never experienced love before, so he is a complete novice to this. So Melissa loves Deku. She blushes every time she's around him, cause Deku is nearly as tall as her, and she's basically older than him. She's 14. Deku's 12. Now we skip 2 more years. Deku's now 14. Melissa is 16, and they have actually started dating. Melissa basically asked Deku out because Deku didn't know nothing about it. He says okay, and they started dating. They actually enjoyed their time they had to spend with each other, going on dates and stuff like that. Deku got to meet David Shield and stuff like that. They had small conversation. David basically threatened Deku that if he breaks his daughter's heart, he's gonna break his body. Now, this is the end of middle school. I'm gonna do the start from the attack, and I'm gonna end it because that's as far I'm gonna go. I don't got time for that. So in the middle school, Deku's in class, sitting down. Over this time, he got a complete handle over the transformation to the point where he's in the third form. It was not third form, the third stage. And the third stage is basically complete control. It's basically he got to the point where his hair, stands up. It looks like the picture, but the aura is more intense and more intense. Basically not yellow. It's basically just a green, complete green color. His pupils, instead of being white, have actually went to a slight gray. And his hair, which actually got longer a little bit, well, way longer, stands up with a goldish tint this time instead of like that reddish tint, that reddish orange. So after the teacher basically throws the paper up, asks everyone want to go to school and stuff like that, want to be heroes. He tells that Baka wants to go to UA, and also says Deku want to go to UA. Now Baka don't do that thing that he did in canon, like Deku drop out and stuff like that, because he knows Deku's strong. So they leave school. Deku's walking home. He goes on the bridge like in canon. The sludge villain goes to attack him. Deku senses this and he jumps back. He sees the sludge villain. The sludge villain says, "Give me a body, kid. I ain't know the freak was in town." Deku says, "As you wish." As Deku throws a punch at the sludge villain, hitting his body and blowing a huge chunk off. Sludge villain says, "What? I ain't think he would be able to hurt me in this form." Now this is just Deku's pure physical strength, because he figured that he's worked out, and since his body was abnormal from everyone else, he can work out more and get more buffer. Well, he don't want to get more buffer. No, like he actually should. Like he has a Team Gohan. Like Team Gohan was when he fought Cell. He has that kind of body. With abnormal strength for his basically size and age, better than what people that have strength enhancement quirks. He got better strength than that. So I'm gonna end this very soon because my throat is getting dry. Sludge villain was shocked by this. This when All Might comes in and knocks out the sludge villain. Deku does not fanboy out over All Might. He don't really care that much. But All Might does sign his autograph and he jumps off. Deku's not going to ask that question because he already knows he can become a hero with his quirk. So he just started walking back home. The second sludge villain attack doesn't happen because All Might landed on the building safely. Then dropped the bottle and he returned it to the police, which they basically arrested the sludge villain. Deku gets home and he prepares for the 10 months of training. Now this one going to end this off. Thanks for watching. Peace out. See you guys in the next one, which is probably going to be in a couple of, I don't know. I still got work to do for school. And, basically it's stressful. But thanks for watching. Peace out. See you guys in the next one.